Well, good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here, and we're glad you're all here watching the show tonight. You're watching Seeing the Unseen with Christopher LaPrath, and I'm Kenan, the producer. So it's great to see you all here. I'm seeing some activity in the chat as usual, which is always great. Tonight's title is Are You Free of the Fear of Being Misunderstood? Which is a little bit interesting, and it has to do with the group card for tonight, which we'll get into later on. My dad, Christopher, will. But for now, I have a couple quick points, and then I'll turn it over to him. Now, first off, everyone out there is a mirror. Every single human being is a mirror for us, and good or bad, which those are very limiting concepts, but whatever it is that we're seeing, those things are true about us as well, especially if there's a particularly strong feeling involved. Like if we really like something or really dislike something about another person, then that's often true of ourselves. In fact, I would say 100% of the time that's the case. Like, you know, gosh, that person is really, whatever the judgment is, then upon further inspection, we'd be surprised to find anything other than that trait in ourselves. So, in that, everyone is also our teacher. And some people teach us how to be, and some people teach us how not to be. So, just before I turn it over to Christopher LaPrath here, couple of quick points for housekeeping. Anyone who's joining us for the first time, we're super glad you found the show. Just say something in the chat, however you're watching us, and we'll know you're here and be able to do a reading for you. And the first time's always free. So anyone after that, it's just $10 a reading. And if you wanted to do one reading for every single show of the month, which is 3 times a week, it's just $100. So go ahead and prepare for an amazing show, everybody, and thanks again for being here. Here's Christopher.
Hey everyone, thank you so much. A quick shout out to the Fleece Agency. Tony Fleece and his agency of branding and marketing people are amazing. They sponsor the show. And Brick Road Coffee, where there's no place like foam on your coffee. So those two of our sponsors, but thank you every one of you for also sponsoring the show and for your donations. It helps us be able to keep the show going. Most of you have caught on by now, I'm sure, that when a card comes up, it's not just about the card, it's not just about the message, but it clears the energy around what that message is. That's what Kenan and I, what our specialty is to not just cite the issue, which gives you the left brain understanding of what the issue is, but helps you clear the energy around it. Because many times this energy is from many lifetimes. If you were here on the show last night, you heard me speak to a gentleman about being beaten to death over a loaf of bread. Very clear. Well, what did that set up in his consciousness? And most of you have been on the show long enough where you've had the experience, or you've seen it with someone else, where there's an energy that comes up and it needs to be cleared. So the topic tonight is, are you willing to release the fear of being misunderstood? The unconscious mind is the part of the mind that is always now. It's not in the future, it's not in the past, it's always now. And the conscious mind takes things very literally. So some of you, when you first started with the show, you would write some negative things about yourself. Or even saying things like, well, I'm really working on that. Well, the subconscious mind takes those things and goes, "Oh, well, she's really, really working on that." Okay, well, we'll continue to work on that. Well, why don't you just get it rather than continue to work on it? Just get it. That's what we do. That's what this show is really about. And it's also you knowing unequivocally. You've been on the show enough to know unequivocally these messages. After the show, you'll call me and text me and go, "Yeah, what was your card?" I have no idea what I said. It's these messages just coming through, and a lot of times they're firing like bullets, and it's coming fast and furious. But if there is any fear of being misunderstood, then what happens is you focus on the fear and you are misunderstood. It's like saying, "Now everyone, I don't want to upset you with what I'm about to say. Now, I don't want to seem insensitive." Immediately, what you're hearing is, "Oh my God, he's going to try to upset me. Oh my God, he's going to be insensitive." Because the brain doesn't even hear the word "don't." So, my point is if you say yes to the fact or the willingness to let go of the fear of being misunderstood, then that's what is happening now, is that fear of being misunderstood is leaving. Because it's so important to speak your truth. That's what I wanted to speak with you tonight about for the main message. But before I do, I'm going to light the incense. I don't know if any of you have actually gone out and gotten incense. I highly, highly recommend it. Or just ordering it online from Amazon. It doesn't necessarily have to cost a lot, but get the really good kind. We've ordered kind where it actually kind of bothers my sinuses and throat, but this is the good stuff. So spend a little bit more, find the incense that you like, and you can reorder it and reorder it. But it helps to clear the mind. It's been used for meditative purposes. It is a vehicle for clearing the mind of any unwanted negative energy, and it's also a vehicle for clearing any negative energy, period. Whether they're entities coming in, projections. This brings that, I call it the USA feeling, okay? So the incense is lit. So many times when we're growing up in this universe, in this world, we're taught to stifle ourselves. Children should be seen and not heard. What does that do to your voice? What does that do to your truth? Some people are raised where the belief is children should not be seen or heard. So I'm telling you now, that was then. But this is now. This is the unconscious mind. You are now, and you are here for a purpose, and you are here to speak your truth appropriately, kindly, and lovingly. This will give you full freedom of expression in a kind and loving way. And are you willing to allow things to come up that have been buried deep within you to emerge in a comfortable and appropriate way in order to be able to express yourself. So that brings us to the group card for tonight. This is called the Karmic Board Clearing. Source, the universe, wants us to live in complete and pure source. Now, this card talks about an actual heavenly spiritual board that comes at night to clear any karma. Now, karma is misunderstood as punishment, but it's not that at all, because it could be that someone else's bad behavior or mistreatment, we've sided with, oh, you know what, we put up with that because we really want to see the good in all people. So it goes along with what Kenan was saying earlier. We learn from people. People are our mirrors. We learn sometimes really good things, and we learn how not to be. So this is choosing the way of love. And willing to let go of the fear of the unknown. Because when we're in fear, it can create that karma. Because karma is simply action. It's action or non-action. So appropriately doing things karmically, appropriately saying things, appropriately doing things. That's what this session tonight for all of you is about. So that when you go to bed at night, tonight, this karmic board, these angels, these guides, these spirits come in to help clear that from your field. And because Source wants us to have the most positive experience that we can here on this earth. Are you willing to let go of being martyrs? That somehow God loves the people who suffer more. God loves the poor more. Are we willing to let go of those projections and those belief systems that are not part of Source? They're absolutely not part of Source. And it's also, if you're suffering from, let's say, past trauma, if you're suffering from past trauma or irritation, or remembering a painful event, know it's coming up because that's no longer serving you. Give you an example. I can't eat tomato sauce. It just rips my gut up. But in ripping my gut up, it tells me I'm not going to eat tomato sauce anymore. When you're suffering, allow it to come up. It's a service to you, to show you that Spirit is calling for it to be released. Because we were meant to be happy. We're meant to be here and allow all of that in that field that's accumulated over lifetimes. We're not just talking about this lifetime. We're talking about major lifetimes. Now, it may not all clear at one time because physically you may not be able to put up with that, but you can clear it a little bit at a time. That's why I'm on 3 nights a week. Okay? So, all these fears, all these phobias, all these challenges with partners, with relationships, and feelings of being misunderstood are being released now. Here we go.
Awesome. versus John.
Okay, John, Wyoming John. If any of you need amazing land up in Wyoming, John's the guy to see. So if you're new to the show, how I pull the card is basically let your guides pull the card, and they always pull the highest and best. You know, Kenan and I, before we start the show, we kind of go over what we're going to be talking about, and every time it's always synchronistic. Whatever he prepares, whatever I prepare separately, it's always synchronistic. So the same with the cards that fall out, they're very, very synchronistic. Give me a minute here, John. I got to think about what this card means. Oh, it means love. This is your time. You have worked really hard on loving yourself, and this is someone coming into your field that actually loves you because you have loved you, and you've loved you more, and you've let go of these unconscious belief systems that no longer are serving you. It's actually doing the work, and you've actually done the work. So this is actual true love coming into your life. We've talked about this, and it's a little private, so I won't share it with the group. But there's something brewing here, and it's a good thing. But this message is about letting go of judgment on yourself. Because if you're judging yourself, then you're going to attract people and relationships into your life that are going to judge you. And that's a gift, because it's showing you, I want to clear this about judging myself. And you're done attracting anyone else's judgment on you, or attracting people that are judging you. Good job. Good job, sir. Okay. And we have...
This is Lindsay.
Hey, Lindsay. Okay. So, Lindsay, you know what scammers are. Everybody gets emails. I've been getting these texts lately that go, hey, do you want to meet up on Monday? And it's just a number, and there's no name attached to it. And you know it's a scam. And you just delete. Anywhere, Lindsay, that it went in, it doesn't matter how it went in, it doesn't matter where you got it. Again, it's one card. It's not a full reading, so I'm not going to get into it. But this is a lot of past life crap that no longer serves you to your best and highest, where you've bought into, or perhaps bought into, or think about this. Have you ever heard the term starving artist? or you can't make a living doing that, or it's not good enough, or, are you willing to let go and push all of that away because you are a freaking amazing artist? This is not illusions of success anymore, Lens. This is success. This is success. This is true success. This is speaking your truth through your art. Caring less what other people would think about it. Are you willing to let go of being judged? Or your art being judged? Are you open to your art being appreciated and who you are really appreciated? We on the show, Kenan and I, and everybody in this show, appreciate you for who you are, what you do. Every one of us would buy one of your paintings. Come on. Okay? Who's next? Austin. Oh, and so Austin, let me clarify what I was saying last night. Is I saw someone behind a corner jumping out. It's in the next few days. It's not. Just pay attention to that. Okay. This is rebirth. So this is real rebirth. This is not a rah-rah seminar that you attend and you feel so elated. You know, it's like people will go to church and they'll feel just super high for 10 minutes and then they're just like back to normal. You're not a rubber band, right? So like when people sometimes go to church or they'll go to any rally or any self-improvement seminar or whatever, and they get stretched and they're like, yeah, they're, whoa. And then they leave and whoop, they go back to the status quo. Rebirth is not that. Rebirth is the actual changes. So it's also not necessarily easy. If you ask any woman that's given birth, any of you on the show that's given birth, you know it's not easy. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Step into the rebirth. Tell your system it's safe for this rebirth. It's a brand new way of looking at life. It's just a whole new way that's coming in the next few days and weeks. And be free of trying to define it. So they've done studies on the brain. When people are sleeping, the logical part of the brain, it shuts down. It doesn't need to explain the dreams because they're ridiculous. Some of the dreams are just crazy. You know, you're riding a giraffe through a bowl of Jell-O. All kinds of strange things, right? And the brain just lets go of trying to make sense of it. Let go of trying to make sense of this rebirth of things that's coming to you. And that's a really great message for all of us because it's letting go. When my mom passed away, that's a big rebirth. I'm not talking about that right now. I'm not talking about that with you, Austin. But I'm using this as an illustration about letting go. I thought it was just this whole life is all about letting go, right? And I've used the illustration about wearing an Angora sweater trying to cross a barbed wire fence. You just get hung up. This is never buying Angora, because Austin, obviously, you probably don't look good in it. But this is letting go of what no longer serves you and moving forward in a very, very big way. I'm even getting like a new place to live, like even in a different state. Okay, who's next?
Awesome. Yeah, next is Laurel.
Laurel. So, my dear, I don't know if we haven't talked in a few weeks, but start writing your music and start performing your music. You know, you post. I love every morning you post this beautiful picture of yourself and blessing everybody with this great morning picture and telling everyone good morning and make it a great day. And I love those messages. You have a way to relate to people's emotions and help clear them. So think about just performing on YouTube or on social media just with a short song. You're already doing it with a still picture of yourself and a message. Maybe just expand on that a minute or two. Don't wait to be perfect. Just start doing it. Your ability to help heal body, mind, and soul. That's the three rings you see here, Laurel. And it's reflected. It will be reflected back to you. You cannot do this spiritual work, and I'll say this to everyone on the show. You cannot do spiritual work without it coming back to you in a very good way, in kindness and in true love. Okay? All right, here we go.
Also, yeah, this is Diane.
Hey, Diney. Okay. Anywhere where you have been made bad or wrong, or made yourself bad or wrong, are you willing to let go of that now? And this is the virtue card. Start with seeing your good points. Okay. So everybody, Diane's my sister. And during the show, when you hear the clock chime, that's the clock that she got me, because as I was growing up, we had this chiming clock, and she found an exact duplicate of it, which is amazing. But anywhere okay, can you help me with this one?
Oh, yeah.
Anywhere where you've been killed in the past as a martyr, are you willing to let go of that now and let go of any and all aspects of martyrdom, or reenacting it or being it because of what so I'll back up by telling this story from a few months ago, and most of you know this story, some of you that have been on the show. Is this man was shot down in World War II, and he fell for about 2 miles, and he was wide awake, and he knew he was dying, and he was like, at least I'm dying for a cause, at least I'm dying for a cause, at least I'm dying for a cause. Well, when he was reborn into this life, and he's on the show, most of you know him, he had hundreds of hats of Love America, t-shirts with the American flag on it. And he was behind every political rally, every political figure, just rooting them on and promoting them, and because he was living for a cause, but the cause was created from the previous life because it was so traumatic within his field that it created this echo that he carried over into this lifetime. Anywhere, it's safe for you to now release any martyrdom from the past and live now. Live now in true virtue of who you are and what you came here to do. Okay.
Nice. That's Marilyn Pitts next.
Marilyn Pitts. Okay. Thank you for being here, Marilyn. So Marilyn, thank you for being here, and thank you for pulling this card, because this card is for all of us, but mainly for you. Are you willing right now, in any way, shape, or form, to let go of perfection? Are you willing to let go of the need to be perfect? And to see things where they are now as perfect and getting more perfect, rather than what's wrong or what's bad in any way, shape, or form. Go, okay, this is perfect for right now. Okay. You're planting, it's springtime, you're planting little seeds, they're little buds. They're perfect as buds. They're not perfect as full-grown roses yet, but they're perfect as plants, little tiny plants. People are where they are. Honor them, bless them. If a literal blind person walked into a wall, you wouldn't curse him out. Go, geez, that was a stupid thing to do. No. Well, there are mentally, emotionally, spiritually blind people. And they're going to run into walls. Give them a stick. Let them. I'm using this metaphorically, but or these spiritually blind people run into you and maybe step on your foot or kick you or hurt you. They're spiritually blind. You don't necessarily have to hang out with them or go into the cause of why they're blind. No. This is you moving on and past them, but understanding that where people are at is, I guess, where they need to be. My teachers used to tell me, You either get it now or you get it later. It's better if you get it now. But if you have to wait 20 lifetimes to get it, oh well. I guess that's perfect for them. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, very good. So next is going to be Doreen and Tim and Tony by proxy.
Awesome. Hey, Doreen. Anywhere where you have felt helpless, or traumatized, are you willing to let go of that easily and comfortably? And it's leaving. It's leaving. Okay. So, Doreen, I'm going to go back to the so this is previous life from when women were useless or viewed as useless. I'm sorry, where women were viewed as useless, and it's around, or women had a place. Oh, okay. Doreen, in any way, shape, or form, are you willing to give up the idea of women have to have a place? They belong here. They belong there. Women belong everywhere. This is you stepping into your power, and this is losing all of that energy from the uselessness that you experienced in this lifetime where you were constantly put down. And I'll talk to you more about it, through a private reading, but because there's more to this. But this is stuff coming. This is really a different show, you guys, tonight, because this is stuff coming up from the past. It started to come up last night with the show with Power Intention, but with his reading and being in the breadline. But this for you, Doreen, is in any way, shape, or form where you have taken on the projection of women being useless because that's how you were viewed in the previous life. Willing to let go of that now in any way, shape, or form. Good. Okay. Did you feel that move?
That is great.
Okay. Good. Now, Tony?
Tim and Tony.
Tim and Tony. You've got some oppiness going on. Why did I say in an English accent? Okay. You're doing something with England. Watch My Fair Lady, Tony, Tim, again. Because that's what you do to help transform people from Eliza Doolittle and this Cockney street woman accent to this transformatory, beautiful woman. But this is your own happiness. I know this sounds really far-fetched. It's like one time years ago, I was reading for this woman, and she was a single mom with 3 kids, and I go, "Oh, you're going to Italy?" She goes, "Chris, I'm a beautician. I have 3 kids. I'm a single mom. There's no way I'm going to England. I mean, going to Italy." 2 months later, she won a hairdressing contest here in Phoenix. Yep, she went to Italy. On her way to Italy. So as far-fetched as this sounds, I know there's something with England or going to England or working with England or someone in England for you, Tony and Tim. But this is your happiness cup. This is your marking your cup and drinking from it. Anywhere okay, so this has something to do with Tony, but Tim, anywhere man, anywhere, Tony, Tim, that failure has been projected on you. I need to do a reading for you. I need to do a full reading on this one for you. Are you willing to clear that now? And can I get some help over here in the Kennan department here? Because I can feel this. There's this failure where it doesn't matter who you love, you can be successful, Kennan says. This is unspoken expectations. These people, this company or these companies had unspoken expectations of you. And you're really good, you're both really psychic, but you're not mind readers. And people have unspoken expectations in order to control or judge. Are you willing to let go of all of that now that was projected on you and deemed as failure? It wasn't a failure. The universe gave you a win. They removed those people from your field. So the universe can remove the person or the situation or the people from your field, but there's some lingering body odor around you from that situation energetically. Remove that now. Get some great incense, get some great sage, remove that now. Okay, good.
Abby in Maryland next.
Abby in Maryland, awesome. Okay, I'm excited now. I'm getting, the energy's moving. So, Abby, Maryland, one of my favorite movies is called Flower Drum Song. And there's a song in there that's called 100 Million Miracles Are Happening Every Day. And when I was 5 and 6 years old, I used to actually sing that song. 100 million miracles are happening every day. You know, for Halloween this year, dress up as fairy godmothers, because this is your power coming to you. You have this bibbity bobbity boo type of power. You have this ability, both of you, to clear energy that no longer serves people. And when you clear that energy, then it's like moving the rocky field, moving the big rocks out so the plants can grow. So when you remove this negative energy from people, which is your gift, one of your gifts, it allows their spirit to flourish. And you're going to be seeing that more and more and more with people waking up around you. Oh, this is awesome. Okay. And that's for both of you. The other here is clean house. So anything you're having doubts about, for instance, get rid of some of your old clothes. Get rid of stuff that people have given you. And if you felt odd about the people and they've given you something, just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. I had one of my teachers come over to my house and they look around, they go, get rid of that. That's got some really bad juju. And it was given to me by a person that was a little questionable, but I took it to be nice. What? Ooh, hairball. Anything that you've taken to be nice that you actually don't like, get rid of it. Get rid of it now. Okay.
It's you and Kat last.
It's you and Kat. Dr. Jared. I'm excited. Yes, it's true. I'm excited. How about you? Thank you for being in the last on the show, you, Jared, Kat. What I believe is happening you've all popped popcorn. And one kernel will pop, 2 kernels, 5 kernels, 20 kernels, and then it just poof. This latent DNA that is made up of molecules that are millions and millions of years old are being activated to evolve mankind. So if you are overly tired, Jared, or a little worn out, it's going to pass, but you are evolving, both you and Kat, Tim, Tony, Doreen, Abby, Marilyn, everyone on the show. Your DNA is changing. It is part of this evolution and this next stage of consciousness. So this is the Seeker card. Like going on a beach, Abby, and finding these amazing shells. And then you call it a day because the sun is setting. Because you know the next day there will be other shells. So Jared, this is being very content, very in great gratitude for even the littlest shell that was accomplished in one day. The one person you may not have everything come to fruition in one day. You may, but if it doesn't happen in one day and you just get one little piece done or one extra phone call made, rejoice in that. Rejoice in that shell that you found. Give yourself some kudos. Give yourself some hoorah, that you did that you got that accomplished. Kenan and I do that all the time. We were reminiscing that a year ago we were doing this in a studio that was very expensive, and how we were able to put all this equipment and with your patience to put it all together and put us into a very uncomfortable situation. But every day we went, hey, today we got a new camera. Yay. Do we know how to use the camera? No. But that'll come tomorrow. All right. All right, Kat, here we go. Okay. I think we all need to get together. I want to plan something. Good. So this is good, Kat. It's called Mourning, Mourning. Sometimes when we're moving into this new space or this new way of being, new way of believing, new way of becoming, we're moving into it, we can mourn how we coulda, shoulda, woulda been, or mourn that it didn't come faster, or mourn that you should have known that before. Let go of that mourning. This too will all pass. So any sadness that you're feeling, it's letting go. And again, making room for the new. Sometimes you have this really good chocolate cake that's been sitting down on the counter for 3-4 days and you have to throw it away. But you can always make a new cake. This is your new cake being made. This is a new way of being and letting go of any of those regrets that you have absolutely done your best up until now, and it's going to get better and better for you, Kat. For all of us. For every one of us. Oh, good. Jared, you said I completed 10 emails, touched multiple patients, and remembered who and why I do things. Perfect. Okay. Do we have everyone?
That's everybody for the evening.
Okay, my dears, everyone, if you have any questions, if you have any observations, I love to hear from you. Please be free of ever thinking you're bothering me. Call, text, message. I love you all, and we'll do this again Wednesday night. Have a great night.